Hello, and welcome to yet another episode of The Rubber Match. I am your host, Seth Weber. With me always my hetero life mate, Brian Freeland.
Rested, back from a much-needed camping trip.
All right. So while I was editing the last episode, I was watching us pick teams, I realized that we completely neglected the All-Star teams. Now let me tell you about these. Let me tell you about these All-Star teams. So the top-rated real team in the game is Tampa Bay, right? They are a 78. The All-Stars East team is an 89.
Ooh.
The All-Stars West team is a 92.
Whoa. All right.
Yeah, so this is like a huge jump in the quality of player because it's all the best players from those teams.
Okay.
So I think we should just try that straight up.
Just straight up. Sure.
Yeah, and see how it goes. We can try East, and then we can try West, and then if we need to, if we split those, we can mess around with whatever we pulling goalies or whatever.
Okay.
But it's such a jump in the team score that I was like, we gotta try this out.
So let's see how we do in this, because if this is like a little bit of a sweep,
it's 32 point between teams.
Yeah, if this is a sweep, then you could probably start coming back up the ladder. Wait, what?
Yeah.
What am I?
That's what I was.
What color
that's
am
what
I?
I was hoping for. You're white. You're going down.
Okay.
So you were you went on a camping trip. Was it by yourself?
Yeah, solo camping trip. I think I've been talking for like the last couple of weeks of just how stressful this the job is. I'm starting a new job tomorrow, and good goalie.
I mean, he better be.
I just needed a couple of days to get away and just not talk to anyone. So in my last job, there was a lot of outbursts, and then there was kids screaming, and then there were people back on the walkie-talkie all day.
Yeah,
it's not only do I have ADHD, which like doesn't help. These guys aren't doing much yet. Damn, pass the other team.
It doesn't help that you keep passing it to me.
Yeah.
So you just needed some silence, return to nature time.
Yeah. So basically, he's got goalie laying him out. What I needed is like just some silence, just some solitude, some break from all the noise. It's just it gets too overwhelming for me. Oof. And so the wife supported it. She's always great like that. What is L just left?
Oh,
nice. Okay, all right. So the plan was to like leave Thursday or Friday, and whether I was going to get 2 weekends or 3 weekends. Well, I had maxed out both credit cards and had like negative $352 in my checking account. But I got paid on Friday. I got paid on Friday, so I was like, "All right, let's, I won't leave Thursday. I'll leave Friday.
Yeah.
I need to get a haircut for this new job." And it was a real slapdick operation. I'll be honest with you. Like I didn't plan it out well. So.
Oh man, what did I do? I cleared that goalie out.
So basically,
what?
Because
what? No way. No way. This is my shocked face.
Yeah, it's I didn't really know where I was going, so I started looking around for campsites, and because it's like one of the last 2 weekends in New England to get a campsite, they were pretty much all booked.
Yeah.
And Casey was like, well, you need your CPAP anyway. How about you go we can get you this yurt. I was like, I'm not going glamping. Fuck that. I'm going to do the real thing. And she was like, okay. She's like, how about like this cabin? It's what was it? It was a sugar making cabin up in Vermont. So she was like, you can still cook outside. It doesn't have electricity. I'm like, there's cots in there. Like, that's not real camping. It's just like, all right. So I'm not helping you anymore.
So apparently beggars can be choosers.
Yeah. It was like, okay, dude. I can see you don't want to be helped.
Come on, Donnie. Let's go bowling. Let's get us a lane.
Right. So I started looking around, and wait, am I going up now?
No, you're still going down.
Okay.
So,
so I started looking around. I was like, there isn't much. So I found a place that coincidentally was only like 10 miles outside of where I used to work. Right. So I was like, okay, I know the way there. But I was looking at all these places. Oh, nice. Ovechkin.
You have Crosby and Ovechkin.
So I start, I'm just throwing a bunch of stuff in the car. I'm like, I usually overpack pants. I don't need to pack any more pants.
You didn't bring your cricket pants?
I didn't think I was going to need them.
Okay, yeah, that's fair.
And so, I had a good idea of where the bins and the camping stuff was. I haven't gone through it since we moved here, but so I just started throwing tubs and crates and all this random stuff. I was like, do I have my sleeping bag? Yes, I do. Do I have a tent? Yes, I do. I was like, okay, I just need to get water and maybe a little bit of food or some batteries. I first want to see what we had around the house, and we had. I just started grabbing random stuff, a lot of winter squash. We had acorn squash and some sweet potatoes, and there was some yams. And I was like, you know what? Part of what I want to do on this camping trip anyway was I wanted to really work on my open fire cooking. So cooking directly on the coals, and so that was kind of the idea. And, it's getting around. That was wild. It was getting around in the afternoon. I was like, okay, I just said, let me head there. And so I get there. There wasn't much that I needed to get at the,
get it out of there.
Play. So I get there. I set up my tent. They don't have fire there, so I went and got some firewood. Where is that? Okay. Sorry, I'm really excited about this new team. So. Anyway, what was I saying? So I get there and I was like, all I had for dinner that first night was some leftover ramen that I brought with me, and I had a bottle of wine, and it was nice. But I sleep with a CPAP, right? Because I have sleep apnea, and I had the battery. I made sure that was all set. So I get in the tent. I'm a little wine drunk, and I don't have the adapter for the CPAP, which is a problem. So I thought I had the right adapter, and it was such a hassle getting out there that, and like I said, slapdick, that I really didn't check to see if I had the right adapter. I was like, well, fuck, I don't want to go back home for this, and it's late anyway, and I've been drinking wine, and do I even want to go back tomorrow? And the whole point is, I don't have to talk to anybody. Yeah. I held it too long. So I just did without. It was not a good night's sleep. I just basically woke up choking every 20 minutes or so. If that. Holy shit.
I'll take that all day.
I haven't done that in a while.
I know.
Damn. So that next morning, I also, because I only had the one pair of pants, it was 39 degrees, and I've had the same tent and sleeping bag for 25 years. So they've lost something. They're just like, they're not as great as they used to be. Nice. So I was pretty cold that night. So I got up at like 5 o'clock, which is when I usually get up anyway, and I made a fire, and I just kind of sat there and drank some coffee and warmed up. And the rest of the weekend was going to, so like the day was going to be in the mid 60s, and the night was only supposed to be like 46. And I was like, that's fine. I can live with that. So I started cooking over the open fire. And I was like, all right, let's try this out. I'm going to get this acorn squash, and I'm going to see if I can do something with it. So I put it, like, right on the coals, like, right on the hot coals. Oh, play. Come on, guys. And I got to say, like, you got to, like, it has such a thick skin that you have to, like, rotate it a lot. Oh, yeah. No. And I probably could have left it on there a little while longer, and I should have been more intent about rotating it. I will say that I ate about a third of it, and the meat that was tender, I could, holy shit, I could scoop out with a spoon. And then the other stuff was like pretty fibrous. It was hard to get out. So it wasn't great, but I felt like I learned a lot. Then I made an egg in an avocado skin, and that worked out. It was a little ashy, but I just told myself it was pepper. None of this food was good, by the way. It was just cooked. Yeah. It didn't really taste great. Right. Yeah. Did I have anything else? I had a sweet potato, and that was like that was pretty good. And then I had like some breakfast pie, which is just perfect, because I bought a pie at the store, and I was like, all right, no sugar added. I feel like I can do this.
What equals a breakfast pie?
Breakfast pie is apple pie you have for breakfast, or it can be any pie that you have for breakfast.
That was what I thought. I didn't think it was like this is breakfast pizza, where it's like eggs and stuff on a pizza, but it was like, no, this is a pie that you eat for breakfast.
Yeah, exactly. It's a breakfast pie.
Okay.
Yeah. So then I started, like, I was doing some reading, and I brought 4 books with me. I read 2 pages of one. And then I started walking around. I was like, okay. Oh, no, I am down there still. Yep.
Nice. I saw that coming, and I couldn't put a body in front of it.
So I started walking around. And I was like, oh, I find a trail. It has a 2-mile loop, a 4-mile loop, and an 8-mile loop. And I was like, all right. At this point, it is just about 3, and I felt like it was going to be like a test in moderation. Like, am I just going to go for it? Because I was like, all right, I don't know anything about the terrain. I got a pack on me. I tend to like hike pretty heavy, but I don't know anything about like elevation gains. Like, I can't trust that this is going to be a flat ground, like 2.9, 3 miles an hour, whatever I average. Yeah. So I was like, all right. So I go back and I get the pack, and I get in front of the sign, and it's not 2, 4, or 8. It is 2, 6, or 8. I went, all right. Well, I'll just have to make a decision, like when I get there. So I chose moderation, because I felt like it was a test of moderation, and I did the 6-mile loop. And it was a good call, because right when I was coming out, like I knew I was going to, like, I wasn't going to lose the sun, but I was going to lose the sun behind the trees at some point. And I'm glad I did. Like, parts of the trail were flooded out. There were other parts, because it's fall, a lot of like the leaves had fallen, and it was pretty rocky terrain, so I wasn't sure of my footing anyway. I did have a headlamp with me just in case, so I felt like the hiking I was smarter about it than I had been about like the entire trip in general. So I made it out, and I was like, you know what? It's my last night here. there is a roadhouse across the street, across the highway. It is like from 1871. It is like, it builds itself as a Rhode Island roadhouse. And they, right?
That feels like a locals only joint.
Any time that I've driven past it for work in the last 4 months, the only clientele I've seen outside are motorcycles, primarily, and maybe a couple pickup trucks.
It's a real like, Pee Wee Herman vibe, huh?
Right. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it for the story. So I went down to the showers, and I was like, there's like this sign in front of the showers. It's like 75 cents for like 3 minutes. And I was like, what?
Hang out behind the goal?
Doesn't make any sense. Oh yeah, sorry. It's my screen is glitchy.
Oh, sorry.
I can't see anything. So yeah, I can't. I don't know what my players are doing. So anyway, I was like, what? I was like, I'm not gonna. I don't have the quarters, but I don't know what this is. Well, it was for hot water, basically. It was like you put in 75 cents for 3 minutes of hot water. $1 for $1 for 4 minutes. And I was like, I don't even know if I have the quarters. I'm just going to take this cold shower. And it was, it's like late October in New England. That water was
no, that's a seriously cold shower.
But I was like, all right, I'm going to go over to this place. Maybe I can get like a burger and a beer. And it's going to be a tie game.
It's going to be overtime.
And what do we say? It's
first goal.
It's first goal. Fuck.
Yep.
All right. So
get those zips hard early.
Yeah. So I get showered, get out of here, going north. Shit. I can't see anything. So I head over, and I was like, all right, what do I have? I have the same pair of pants that I've been wearing, which are just like some like Dickies work pants.
Fuck me.
That could have been it.
Fuck me. That's it. Oh,
yeah.
Damn it. Motherfucker. God, it hit the post.
Holy shit.
Damn, that was good.
Oh, man. That was really good.
Yep. Very good.
I think we should go straight up again. What do you think?
Yeah. Yep. Same teams. Okay, so you took a shower.
So I have a flannel shirt. All right, that's gonna work. I got my hiking shoes. That'll be fine. And I have this like red kind of fleece vest, which makes me look like kind of preppy, but it was warm. I was like, all right, they're gonna know that I'm like I didn't come on a bike. I'm pulling up in a Kia Soul, not a pickup truck, and I'm not a local. And this is like
if they don't know you, you're not a local.
This is right off of of a county road, like in like middle of nowhere, Rhode Island, right? So, yeah. Oh, that's a little wild. So I go in, and honestly, like people are just kind of. It was about 7 o'clock. The band was going to go on like 8:30. I thought, really, like I was expecting there to be like more hubbub, but people have been there a while. They were just hanging out there, having a good time, and I got a spot in the corner, and from the defense,
that was a real good shot.
That first beer went down real quick, so I got an order of wings. I got a burger. I was like, okay, I got a second beer. So I pulled out my book, and I brought a book with me. And this is like another thing that I was like, so the book that I brought was a copy.
You're just testing it, right? You're just like layering tests on top of it.
Like I didn't really think about it. Like I don't normally go to, like I have.
Oh, what the God! Bullshit. Nope. No. You don't normally read in bars?
What? I don't normally go to bars that much anyway, and so especially like not alone. Come on. So the copy of the book I brought. So the book I brought with me was a copy of Thich Nhat Hanh's, who was a Buddhist, Vietnamese Buddhist leader, who was a very prolific writer. He just passed away recently this year, but he was involved with Plum Village, which is a Buddhist monastery in France. And the book was small, but it was called "Be Where You Are." Right. Yeah. So it's the idea of like, so it was based off of a talk that he gave at a correctional institute in Maryland, in Hagerstown, and the idea of like, you can be mindful, you can be peace, you can be, come on, you can be. There it is. Nope. There's just bodies
so
everywhere
many
in front of that goal.
Nobody there. God, fucking damn it. All right.
So. And that's what I need. It's like if I can just learn to be like mindful and present and peaceful, and how can I do that when I have like a crying toddler? How can I do that when I have like a rambunctious fourth grade classroom? Like, how can I just be mindful and embody peace? And oh my God, that goal is fucking slow. There it is. Anyway. So it's this whole mindfulness kick that I've been on. So I'm reading this book. And this guy bumps my arm, and real nice guy. He apologized, but he was with this. They were together. This woman was like, I'd have to guess mid to late 50s, almost like she's got like a Jennifer Coolidge vibe.
Okay, all right.
Wait, am I going down or am I going up?
Yeah, you're going down.
It's cushy. Okay, I'm going down. All right. So anyway. It's a guy apologized. No problem. And I can see that, like, he kind of wants to ask a question. I think he's going to ask me a question about the book. And and he said, this is the only joint in town. I was like, honestly, I'm not even from around here. And he said, oh, where are you from? I said, I live in Foxborough. And it turns out that he lives in Mansfield, which is like the town over from Foxborough. And and the woman he's with is from Foxborough.
Oh,
nice.
Interesting. Okay.
So we just start chatting up. He might be mid-30s. Contractor. We just start talking. Well, so I get my wings. I house with them. They let me eat. We're talking some more. She is. As I'm eating the wings and minding my own business, she starts talking about how she like uses her vibrator but doesn't love it. She wants to the reason she likes men is because she wants to be with a man and she can't express love for a vibrator because it's a routine.
Okay.
So I'm trying to follow. So she's saying that she doesn't like using a vibrator because basically what she's saying is she wants to be in a relationship, right? She wants or she wants a person. And I was like, okay, I get it. And then he was like, what if he said something like, what about last night? And she was like, I'll use a vibrator with you, sure, but like it's because there's a relationship already there. And I'm like, man, I just want to like put these wings down and be like, so dildos, huh? Vibrators, I don't know. It was a very funny conversation over here. So I touch my wings. We get back to chatting. I don't mention the conversation I just overheard. But my burger comes, and this woman she's wearing like a white cashmere sweater, and she just starts like grabbing my fries. And the dude's like, whoa, like, what was her name? We'll call her Patsy. He was like, oh, Pat, what are you doing? And she was like, oh, I'm just eating some fries. And she was like slurring her speech. And I was like, that's fine. Like, I'm not going to eat all the fries anyway. And it was like, babe, we got to go. We got to get out of here. Like, let this man like order dinner or eat his dinner. And so, what's going on? I know. So, like, they get up. He's, like, putting his jacket on. And she's like, so can I get your number? And I was like, I was like, to, like, hang out. Like, he's close enough. Like, he could hear her. And I was like, sure. Like, we can all get together in, like, Mansfield or Foxborough. And she steps closer, and she's like, no, can I get your number? And I was like, I have already finished telling you about my wife and kids. And at that point, like, I'm glad he stepped in. And he was like, what? But numbers, sure. And he, like, I don't have my phone on me because I had, like, no tech with me over the weekend. So he gives me, so I give him my number, and then I see him call it. And it's like, yeah, we'll like meet up in Foxborough or whatever and hang out, which I got, like, part of me, like, doesn't want to happen, and part of me thinks, like, sure, let's keep the story going. But I stayed for, like, another beer or two. They left. I have to say that the blues band that came in, they were like, God, who is it? Steve Earle Jones, who does, like, anyway, it was Roadhouse blues, but they were, like, pretty groovy, and I gotta say, like, I dug it. So I was gonna leave after 3 beers, so I was like, I'm gonna stay for one more, because I can't even remember the last time I heard live music and really enjoyed it. I was feeling the vibe. So, you bitch, not feeling this game. So yeah, it's a lot tamer than the stories I would have like 20 years ago, but like pretty good story for like these days.
Yeah.
Like I walked home like without incident. As I was pushing the door open to leave, there's a "Let's Go Brandon" sticker on the door of the way out. And I was like, I'm kind of glad that like there isn't a bigger story than that could be, because like I don't want that kind of energy anymore. Like when I was 20s, I went looking for it, but I was like, I just want to get back home, like my wife and daughter. So I woke up this morning at 5. I packed up pretty quickly, and I was home by 7 for pancakes, and it was like a really nice getaway.
That's nice.
But, yeah. What about you? How's your week? What have you been doing?
Not much really. I have determined one of the layers or the levels of parenting hell is having a costume for a 3-year-old that has gloves on it.
Oh yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Because you are constantly taking them off and putting them back on. And if there's one thing 3-year-olds are not good at, it's spreading their fingers out to put fucking gloves on.
Absolutely.
And so it's
remind me, what is this a Mario costume?
Yes, it's a Mario costume. So he's got the white gloves, and we went to like a Halloween party, and so like we got the costumes out early, and we just finished my daughter's, who was a science experiment. She's like a Erlenmeyer flask that's like exploding, and my wife made it. We like designed it and made it, and it looked really good. It turned out really well. We were really happy with it. And my son is a store-bought Mario, and he has been wearing it for a month. So the gloves are almost like gray at this point.
Nice.
But I took off and put on these gloves so many fucking times at this party yesterday that I am certain that there is a level of hell that is resigned to just that.
Yeah.
Because it's terrible. Because you're like, no. Oh, how did you get 2 fingers in that one finger? Why is your thumb all the way over there? What are you doing?
It sounds like part of the conversation I heard last night. Yeah, it's Cameron wants to be Forky, and she's got her costume, and it's the same thing. It's so for like the pipe cleaners, it's like this red. Think about like opera gloves.
Yep.
Right, but like so they're really long and they connect. But it's oh my, that was nice.
Ooh.
I'm not feeling this game. It's the same thing. It's like, but then she did this last year. She'll wear it for a month and she'll get tired of it. Like, she doesn't want to wear the gloves.
Yeah.
It's like, fine, you don't have to wear the gloves. That's fine. But then she doesn't. She doesn't even really like the mask. It's like this big. I wish we did more like homemade costumes. I grew up in homemade costumes, but I prefer them. But like the mask is like you see through her mouth, through Porky's mouth, and she doesn't really like the way it fits. And now she like doesn't even want to be Forky. And it was themed. Like, I'm gonna be Mr. Potato Head, and my wife's gonna be Woody, and she's gonna be Forky. And last year it was Frozen was supposed to be themed, and she wanted me to go as Elsa, and we found the biggest dress we could, and it looked like somebody was like wrapping up a pork roast. Like it was not a good look, but I got into it. Meanwhile, my wife gets to be Olaf, so she's like this big, fluffy, white worm. I was like, why can't I be Olaf? And she's like, no, Dad, you're Elsa.
Yep.
Fine.
That is the way that works.
Right, and so she had wanted to be Anna. I was like, all right, makes sense. But at the last minute, she's like, I don't want to be Anna. I was like, fine, do you want to be Moana? She doesn't want to be Moana. No. So she winds up, she said, I want to be Cameron. I was like, okay, let's just go. So that's, my wife, Kobe was Sven the reindeer. So everybody except her.
She was Cameron watching Frozen.
Right. Yeah, for sure. Exactly. That's exactly what happened. I think at one point she had like a red Annie wig or something on. I was like, whatever. I just want to wear something, but then I got too hot. So the same thing's going to happen again. Like this year is like she wants to be Mirabelle from Encanto, and I was like, okay, we already have these costumes. But my at least this year I get to be Mr. Potato Head. So put it on today. It works. I don't even know where we're going. I don't know if there's like a trunk or treat somewhere, or we I don't want her to have a whole bunch of candy, and I don't want the candy in the house. And oh my God, did I do it again? No.
Yes, you did. You did. No, it was.
Wait, it was a hat trick by me?
Well, it credited to me, but you had the puck and you put it in.
Okay. What's going on with this team?
I don't know. Bad pass.
So, anyway. So, oof. I was like, oh, okay. I'm going to leave it right there. So, we'll see. I don't know. It's they're going away next weekend, and I think we will wind up doing something on Monday. Oh, no! I was using my shot. Game over. Damn. All right. We got another rubber match.
Yep, that's 1-1.
Here's what I want to do. I want to go to All Stars West.
Okay.
We'll see what happens. Okay.
Bumps it up even further now.
Yeah, we'll see. But yeah, man, kids' costumes.
Oh, it was the worst. It was a fun party, and the people that hosted it knocked it out of the park. They had homemade Bluey costumes.
Nice.
They were awesome. They were really well done. And oh damn it, body stopped the puck. Oh,
what?
Holy fuck! Near both snuck it in there. Eat that all day long. I'm gonna need it. The other thing I did was I watched all of Invincible on Amazon. And
okay. Right.
And I watched probably 3 or 4 episodes last night just to finish it out.
Okay, so fill me in on the premise. Is it's like a father and son superhero, and the father is not a very nice guy, or what?
Well, so it's created by Robert Kirkman. So this is his other is the guy who created The Walking Dead. This is his other book. I mean, he may have other ones, but this is like the other one that's like well known. It was always like his other thing. Like you make The Walking Dead, and then everything else is the other thing.
Sure, right.
But it's about a Superman type guy whose name's Omni Man, who has been on Earth for like 30 years. He says like when he came of age from his planet, they sort of have like, it's kind of like missionary work where like one of the people from the planet, like they go out and like pick a planet and they go and like become the protector of that planet.
Okay.
And so he came to Earth and he met somebody and they had a kid, and he's been sort of waiting for the kid to get powers. And the kid's like a teenager. He's like 15, 16. And he hasn't gotten his powers yet. And at the start of it, he starts to get his powers. And but like, he's not the only superhero. There's like a Justice League type that like works with a government agency, to like deal with, you know, bigger threats. And then there's like local teams of superheroes that are like in the cities dealing with sort of local bigger guys. And then there's sort of like, you know, street level guys. Omni-Man sort of works alone. He kind of will occasionally work with the government agency, and he'll work with the Guardians of the Globe is what they're called. But he's sort of by himself, and he's trying to like stress to his son what it means to be a hero and like have their powers, and like trying to train him while this kid is like just being a teenager. And it's the first episode ends in one of the moments that I feel like is like, if you go and type Invincible into YouTube, you will get a ton of reactions to the end of the first episode.
Okay.
There's a thing that happens at the end of the first episode that like puts everything on its head, and it's done really well, but it leaves you with like a ton of questions that don't really get answered for a really long time, but it just sort of hangs over the rest of the series.
Interesting. Okay.
And then it sort of builds the tension of it really well. And it's good. Like the animation, I would say, is like it's definitely, the show is brutal, and it kind of has like it's not as, I wouldn't say it's as beautiful as something like Ninja Scroll, but like the brutality of it reminds me a lot of that sort of like really like visceral action that's like always ends up in like something spewing and is like gory as fuck.
Right.
So it kind of has a little bit of like, I wouldn't say it goes as far as like The Boys do, but it's you know, it's not far away.
Okay.
But it's good. I would say the very end is interesting. It's an interesting sort of way they wrap it up, and it works. But like, I think he only wrote the one sort of, like, I think it was just like a graphic novel. It might have come out in issues, but it might also have been just like one book. I don't know if he wrote more, and I don't know if the idea was like, we'll adapt the book for series, and then maybe if like there's enough interest, I'll get to like tell the follow-up stories I wanted to tell and didn't get a chance to tell in the books.
Right.
I'm not sure. So I'm curious to see if it'll end up getting a season 2, or if they'll just stick with as far as the source material goes. What was interesting, I thought, was like I don't know if the last episode, I think, is the only one that I remember that I noticed was written by Robert Kirkman. So, oh shit, I think I did that. So I was curious if like he maybe like used that to be able to set up, you know, what other things he might want to do with the character. But yeah, it's interesting, and it's a good watch, and it's got a really good cast too. Like Stephen Yeun is the main guy, and J.K. Simmons is Omni-Man, and they've got Jason Mantzoukas plays a hero. Damn it.
Okay.
I'm trying to think of who else is in there. What's her name? Domino from Deadpool 2. The lucky one.
Okay.
The one from Atlanta.
Yeah. Right. Oh, God damn it. Yes. Yeah.
She plays like his love interest.
Okay.
The kid that's Ezra Miller has a part in it. They got like a bunch of the cast is pretty big, and I don't know if that's just because like Kirkman's name's attached to it and people were like happy to jump on board.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it was good. I dug it.
Who's having a rougher time, Ezra Miller or Armie Hammer? If we had to do like a fuck, marry, kill with like Ezra Miller, Armie Hammer, and Kanye West.
Oh boy. Oh boy, that's that's a good one. That's a real good one. Man. Now, when I marry them, does that mean I have to stay married to them, or could I marry them just for the divorce?
You got to stay married, and the way that I've always understood it is like it's a sexless marriage.
Okay, all right. Then that would probably be Armie Hammer.
Is the one you marry?
Yeah, because I don't want anything to do with what his kinks are. Not that they're bad, but like I don't want to live in that world. So like he can come home to me, and I can enjoy whatever spoils he has, even if he's selling timeshares. I'm sure he'd sell the shit out of some timeshares.
Yeah, but he may eat you.
That's part of his kink. Like he's not going to eat me if I'm married to him. Like that's a sexual thing.
Okay. Do we know that for sure? I don't know. Maybe.
Yeah, we don't know that for sure, but that's what I'm going to bet on. Because
okay.
I couldn't stand to be married. Oh, what a shot that was.
Yeah, that was.
I couldn't stand to be married to Kanye, and I feel like Ezra Miller is like, I don't know. That dude's all over the place, or whatever he identifies at is all over whatever they identify at is all over the place.
Sure.
Oh man, I almost passed that into the goal. Ooh.
So I think I'm with you. So that leaves. I have to go. It's. I
feel like Kanye is a lazy fuck. I don't know. That's just me. Maybe not. Like as far as his sex, I've never really thought of him as a sexual person.
I think he's probably really selfish.
Yeah, I think that's probably fair. They both might be. I don't know. If that. Who do you think is more selfish?
I don't. So here's what I have to do. Like selfish. Yeah, he might be more selfish, but I think Ezra Miller might like try to light something on fire. I think it'll be a little bit more wild. You know.
I think definitely.
I do like a little bit of slapping. The way that it goes back and forth, it's fine. So I'd have to say, you know, if it's aggressive, if someone's going to light a fire, if there's some taunting, sure, I'll take it just for one night. So I feel like that's only happened to me once, and it came as a complete surprise. I was not expecting it to happen, and it really caught me off guard. Yeah, so it happened to me once too, and I came as a complete surprise. Yeah, I was like, oh, I really like that. I was just going like, wait, what the fuck just happened? How into this I am. I'm sorry, that never happened. Yeah, so in that case, I'm killing Kanye and having a good time with Ezra Miller. Just for one night. And I never have to see him. Yeah. I think that's probably fair. I think that's the correct answer. Yeah. So, yeah, man. Armie Hammer, there's just some weird cases. I really enjoyed his performance in The Lone Ranger.
You were the one.
Oh man, I think I fell asleep that movie. No, in Call Me by Your Name. No, it's. Have you seen it?
No.
Nice. I'm not good to six. Can I get it? Yeah, Call Me by Your Name is good. I had friends every year who did like a. It was before COVID, but they did a Oscar party, and they would have like themed dishes. And I was like, please, this year, can you have creamed peaches as your dessert? If you haven't seen the movie, I don't know. Would you get that reference?
I haven't seen it.
All right. I didn't think like that scene would be like big enough for you to like. You know, it got a lot of attention, so even people who didn't see it like know about the peaches.
No.
Anyway.
No. When I hear peaches, I only think of Deadwood.
Eating a can of peaches. Yeah.
Well, like they put peaches on the table for this big meeting, and he's like, "Why? Who the fuck put peaches on the table?" And it like makes some people sick.
That's right. Yeah, I'm. Oh, come on. I just need to. Oh, see, the interesting thing about I feel like maybe when we weren't doing this back in the day, but the interesting thing about our gameplay now is like I think we're pretty good about reading each other's like we have some set like plays, moves, like ways we like to come in, and we're like pretty good at anticipating them now.
Yeah, that's what it kind of felt like. It would force us to like have to adapt because it's kind of like it's kind of the ultimate AI, right? Where it's like you're forced to have to change. You can't just like it's not the NBA Jam where you like do that little like half triangle and it like gets past the defense every time. You're having to to adapt to having to deal with it. And then you also know like when you fuck something up and you're like, oh shit, that's a goal.
yeah, exactly. Like when in overtime, like you called it right before you saw it. Oh. You got clothesline bite. Stop it. Oh, nice.
Ooh, that was bad. That'll work.
Oh, he got laid out. And I really need this to come to a tie.
Ooh.
Too many people there?
Nope,
come on.
Oh, no, that's not what I wanted. That'll work. Oh, no. The one thing I'll say is, like, it seems like in the game that we used to play, NHL hockey, one-on-one goals weren't always a sure thing, but you could score from them. And I feel like in this game, the goalies are, like, too good.
Yeah.
And it's, like, nearly impossible to score from a one-on-one.
Yeah, it's tough.
Oh, I also made a huge mistake this past week. So I've been playing these games that have like a lot of ads, and I play them at night, like when I'm in bed and I'm like listening to a podcast, and like it'll be like
that's too much noise for me. I don't know how you do that.
What do you mean?
Like you're playing a game and listening to a podcast?
Well, it's like a mobile game, so it's like a match 3 or like or whatever. And I always turn the sound and sound effects off, and I just listen to the podcast while I do it. And I'll get like the ads, right? And sometimes I'll see something that I'm like, oh, I'm interested in that. And it was like a farm sim type game, and I was like, oh, I'll just download it and see how much of it's like the ad, because there's so many that aren't like the ads.
Okay.
And I downloaded it, and I was like, man, I don't really want to fuck with this. The problem is that my kids' iPads are hooked up to my same iTunes account, so it downloads anything I download on my phone onto their iPad. So that morning, they're both like, oh, what's this? And they hit it, and my son starts playing it, and he plays it almost all day long. He had, like, meetings and shit. And so, like, when my daughter came home, he was, like, up to level 10 or whatever, and he was, like, fully into it, fully into the dopamine spikes and, like, into it. And she was like, oh, I want to play. And she, like, loads it up on hers, and she was like, oh, I have chickens now. And I was like, how did you get chickens just that fast? And I was like, oh, no. And I was like, oh, you guys are playing on the same game. And then the warning popped up and was like, it's on another device. You can't do that. And I was like, oh, shit. It's like cloud saves. This isn't going to work. And she, like, was so distraught. And she, like, ran to her room. And I was like, did you guys play it together? And it was a big no. And I was like, oh, God damn it. And so I was like, all right, well, there's a ton of games like that. Let's find another game similar. And so I hook her up with Farmville 2, and now so I have both of my kids addicted to farming sims or like farming idle games, and I'm like, what in the fuck did I do that for?
Yeah, you just opened a whole world.
I know. It was so dumb. It was so like once I did it, I was like, I just wanted to get her happy, and it was like, why did I think that would work? I could have just quietly deleted it from his computer and be like, I don't know where it went. It showed up and now it's gone. I don't know. But now
that's
it's like,
strange. That was a one-day only game.
they got their farms now. They've got they know all the things that are there. It's But I was like, I prefaced both of them. I was like, look, this is how these games work. And like ran down the whole freemium model, and I was like, we are not spending any money on these games. So you will grind through this until you lose interest. And that's how we're doing this.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, all right. I got that one. It was close, though.
You did. Yeah, it was close. You had it last week, too, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
I don't remember.
This week
I haven't reviewed that one yet.
Close. So we've had rubber matches the last 3 weeks, right?
Yes, we have.
Nice. All right.
Yeah.
And this one we did it straight. I liked it better this way, straight up, without the handicap of like I think
the tweak we can make is you can do East or West, whichever one you like better, and we can flip the home and away again too, so that you go up 2 periods, because I think I had it the other way this time.
Yeah, I wasn't sure. I wasn't really paying attention. Yeah, that sounds good. I also super glitchy tonight, but say la vie. Yeah.
All right. Well, we will see you all next week for another rubber match. Bye, y'all.
Take care, y'all.